Hey people, welcome to the channel, and this is going to be a very quick tutorial on how to use a terrain manipulator in your multi-tool here in No Man's Sky. But since we're here, let's just take a second to appreciate how gorgeous this game is right now. For all of those that said this was just too cartoonish, this character looks like a guy on an astronaut suit, on a space suit. And it's as realistic as you could wish. How much detail do you have here? And the world, I've gone to so many already. This looks like a very alien, beautiful world, unlike anything I've ever seen before. Just saying this for people that still think that this is just a cartoonish, mediocre game, not so much. Folks, welcome to the channel. If you enjoy the content and you want to subscribe, by all means do so. Always much appreciated. So, our multi-tool is available in our tab. We have our multi-tool, and the multi-tool will have this application called a terrain manipulator. You need to have this installed because if not, it will not work. It needs to be recharged after using it, and we'll see that in a second. You also have a bunch of other things using your multi-tool basically as a weapon, and you tap on G to change between one and the other. So your ball caster is like a pistol, you actually see the ammo being shot. Scattergun is more like a shotgun, javelin like a laser, and then you have the mining beam for mining resources, whatever you wanna mine. You just aim, and pretty much how you go about it. These are all pretty simple, right? Pretty obvious. So you have the weapons, and with the other key you switch into your your shield protection, your cloaking device, which I have installed. These are all things you install in your multi-tool. But let's talk about one of the more lesser understood options, which is the terrain manipulator. So the terrain manipulator allows you to modify, of course, the terrain. The basic aspect of this is, you aim, you shoot, and you do a big old hole, which is often useful if you have to hide from the elements, acid rain, low temperatures. This is something you will have to master when playing No Man's Sky, because often with extreme weather conditions you will have to find shelter, if not you will die, right? So this is the mine from the terrain manipulator. But if you hit on the middle wheel switch, you go into create, flatten, restore, mine. Create, flatten, restore, mine. Now, flatten, I find it pretty useful at times. If I'm going to stay during a storm, you basically flatten the terrain and you open a nice big cave like this. You can even make a home in here. It actually works pretty well. So you flatten the terrain. You can even put like a refinery if you're doing something while waiting out the storm. And then you have, of course, the restore. Restore means you're basically restoring what you just removed. Let's say you did something, restoring the terrain, alright? That's pretty clear as well. Then you have mine, and for mining, this is what you use when you're looking for gold, when there's any resource. For example, you will look around, and you see cobalt over there, phosphorus over there. These are the things you can actually mine, right, with your multi-tool, right? So let's say we tag that with E over there. You want to go over there, you walk towards it, and you will just use something even closer. There's a little bit of a cobalt deposit. Let's go check that one out. Okay, so there's a little bit of cobalt over there. We go into the terrain manipulator, and we go into flatten, restore, mine, and we're mining the actual terrain. And that's how you go about it, right? You're mining your terrain. And when you're using the terrain manipulator, you can create as well. Create basically means you start putting stuff where there was none before. You can make a wall, you can make a bridge, you can make whatever the heck you want with this one. And you see the circle, both for creating and for create, flatten, restore, and mine, both for mining, creating, and restoring. The sphere you use can be increased so as to put even more terrain. And then underneath you see the different options that you have. Like there, it's the base, right? Cave, underwater, right? Base. All of these things, mountain. All of these are the kind of terrain you want to restore. Okay, so let's say you go with that one and you restore mountain kind terrain. All right, you move out, and I'm doing this with a scroll wheel in the mouse, right? Underwater, right? You want to do underwater stuff here. You make it look like more underwater-ish sort of terrain, all right? That's basically how the basic functions in your multi-tool and terrain manipulator work. And remember, you will run out of fuel, so you need to tap on X, look at the little battery there, right? And in your battery, you have the terrain manipulator. You click on this, and you restore it. I recommend using silicate powder, which is basically dirt, and now you just power your multi-tool yet again. Folks, that's how you use the terrain manipulator and your multi-tool. Have a great day. See you next time.